From day one, the skies were one of the crucial battlegrounds in the Ukrainian war. Russia has so far succeeded in suppressing any Ukrainian attempts at air reorganization, but Kremlin pilots are increasingly reluctant to carry out operations in enemy territory. Numerous takedowns and hundreds of dead teammates are enough of a threat for anyone. In this context, British experts affirm that there is a ship that could perfectly accommodate the Ukrainian needs to deliver a lethal blow to Putin, the Saab 39 Gripen, the best Swedish fighter. In this episode of Military Aviation, we are going to tell you why, and how likely it is that this alliance will become effective. In November 2022, the Royal United Services Institute, also known as RUSI, published a study warning that in order to support Ukraine in this new stage of the conflict, it is necessary to quickly equip its air force with Western fighters that can face the powerful Su-35 and MiG-31. According to the analysis, Russian pilots have been cautious throughout the war, so even a small number of Western fighters could have a significant effect on the Kremlin's air fleet. American planes present some problems. The long, high-quality airstrips and large hangars with extensive ground support equipment required to operate most U.S. fighters would be difficult to build under watchful and well-armed Russian surveillance. The concrete will probably still be wet when the first Kremlin missiles fall. The fighters that Zelensky needs will have to operate in humble bases, on short runways and precarious facilities where they will receive minimal maintenance. Ukraine has neither the money nor the time to learn the mechanics of a complex model. Under these conditions, the lethal Swedish Saab Gripen aircraft is the ideal candidate. The Saab 39 Gripen is a light, single-engine multi-role fighter that was developed in the 1980s by the consortium of Swedish companies IGJS, led by Saab. The aim was to equip the Swedish Air Force with an aircraft for both attack and aerial reconnaissance, and they succeeded in spades. From its design, the Saab 39 Gripen was designed to facilitate its operation under inexperienced hands. Furthermore, it can be resupplied, rearmed and undergo basic maintenance by teams of just 6 people on the ground, using 2 vehicles at small air bases or roads, even in the harsh conditions of the Ukrainian winter. It only takes 1 highly trained technician per team, the rest can be soldiers or recruits. As for its fuselage, it has a delta-shaped wing, with canard-type front wings that give it high maneuverability in close combat or dogfight. Depending on the source consulted, the Saab 39 Gripen is categorized as a 4th and a half and even 5th generation ship. The Swedish ship can carry various types of air-to-air combat missiles, with different capacities and ranges. The short-range ones can be carried on cargo pylons on the main wingtips, without affecting their maneuverability in the slightest, similar to the F-16 Fighting Falcon. It can also carry different weapons made in other countries, such as medium-range missiles under the wings, 2 long-range missiles on reinforced cargo pylons next to the engines and at the base of the wings for combat beyond visual range, essential when facing the most advanced models in the Kremlin's arsenal. The Gripen can also use bombs of various weights, guided by laser, video and GPS satellite, located under the wings and center fuselage on 2 reinforced weapons loading pylons. When it comes to offensive power, the Swedish ship is an impressive choice and is, in fact, the best-selling Swedish product ever. The Gripen's electronic warfare suite is specifically optimized to counter Russian fighter radars and anti-aircraft missile systems, such as the powerful S-300, S-400, and S-500. Other factors that make it particularly suitable for Ukrainian operational needs is that it can fire the very long-range European MBDA Meteor missile, which, thanks to its ramjet propulsion design, has better performance compared to traditional missiles powered by rocket engines, such as the R-27 or the AIM-120 AMRAAM. The latter is particularly important to counter the supremacy shown by the Russian Su-35S and MiG-31BM fighters, which operate from high altitudes, where they were always effective and lethal against Ukrainian aircraft, thanks to their powerful radars and air-to-air missiles in combat beyond visual range. Russia has a formidable long-range missile capability, allowing it to destroy targets without putting its units at risk. It has even put into service the Kinzhal hypersonic missile, which U.S. President Joe Biden himself admitted is almost impossible to intercept. While the Saab 39 Gripen could not destroy such weapons, it would give Ukrainian troops the ability to attack beyond visual range without exposing their limited resources. Finally, it must be remembered that the Gripen are very effective multi-role fighters, being able to use various reconnaissance, electronic warfare or target designation pods, as well as a wide assortment of intelligent air-to-surface and anti-ship munitions, covering only one model of aircraft, the full spectrum of missions required in modern air warfare. The authors of the analysis also warned that the dispatch of the aircraft must be supplemented with anti-aircraft missile systems, missiles and self-propelled anti-aircraft weapons to prevent a new Russian attack campaign, which could prove lethal to Ukrainian defenses in the current state of the war. According to Rusi reports, since April, Russian pilots have avoided overly aggressive raiding operations at all costs. This is due to the heavy losses suffered by the Russian Air Force during the first months of the war. That operational weakness can become its Achilles heel, but only if Ukraine has the weapons to exploit that operational flaw. Despite these recommendations, and the constant support in words from NATO, Ukraine has received multiple refusals when requesting the shipment of aircraft and weapons. This has aroused controversy and even conflicting opinions among U.S. Army officers, who advocate more direct intervention of their country. Since the war began, one of the big questions has been whether European countries will finally agree to directly support Ukraine by sending combat aircraft and tanks. In March, Bulgaria, Poland and Slovakia, the only European countries that could send MiG-29 and Su-25 jets, ruled out collaborating with Zelensky's troops. For the moment, the response has been cold and it is unknown if Sweden is willing to collaborate with its best weapon. Do you think NATO will send the Saab 39 Gripen to Ukraine? Leave your answer in the comment box below. We have reached the end of this video. If you want to know the latest news about the war in Ukraine, we invite you to subscribe and activate notifications. We'll meet again in the next video of military aviation.